This is the filter out of a unit that had been running for one season, and this is the part nobody looks at, the coils behind it. They sit wet in the dark for months. That is close to a perfect environment for mold and bacteria to establish, and your air conditioner blows air across it and into the room you sleep in. If you've had a cough, congestion, or headaches that get better when you leave the house, this is worth 10 minutes of your time. Before anything else, go do this after the video. Turn the unit off. Pop the front panel. On almost every window and split unit, it's 2 clips or 2 screws. Pull the filter out and hold it to a light, then look past it at the metal fins behind. If the fins are gray, furry, or slick instead of clean silver, you have what we're talking about. And if the air smells like a wet towel in the first 30 seconds after you switch it on, you already know the answer. 3 things here: what's actually growing on those coils, what it does to you, and what it doesn't, because there's a lot of nonsense online about this, and the fix, which is about $20 in one afternoon. Here's the part most people never had explained to them. An air conditioner doesn't make cold, it moves heat. Warm room air gets pulled across the evaporator coil, which is cold, usually somewhere around 40 to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat transfers into the refrigerant and the cooled air gets blown back out. But something else happens at the same time. When warm, humid air touches a cold surface, water condenses out of it. Same reason a glass of ice water sweats. So every hour your AC runs, that coil is wet. In a humid climate, a residential system can pull several gallons of water out of the air in a day. Now put that together. You have a surface that is constantly damp. It's dark. It's around room temperature the moment the unit shuts off. And there's a steady supply of dust, skin cells, and organic debris being blown onto it by the fan. That combination grows biofilm, a layer of mold and bacteria bound together in a slimy matrix. HVAC technicians have a name for the smell it produces. They call it dirty sock syndrome. It's a real industry term, not a joke. The organisms that show up most often are the ordinary indoor molds: Cladosporium, Aspergillus, Penicillium. These are everywhere in normal air at low levels. The problem isn't their existence. The problem is that your AC has built them a farm and then aims a fan at it. There's a second reservoir too. Under the coil is a condensate drain pan that catches the runoff. It's supposed to drain continuously. When the drain line clogs, and it clogs with the same biofilm, that pan becomes standing water sitting inside your air handler. So what does that do to a person breathing it? For most healthy adults, the honest answer is irritation, not catastrophe. But the irritation is real, and it's persistent, and because it's constant, most people stop connecting it to a cause. The common pattern looks like this: nasal congestion and a runny nose that doesn't track with a cold, a dry cough, worst in the morning, itchy or watery eyes, headaches, a scratchy throat, fatigue that doesn't have an obvious explanation. The signal that separates this from ordinary allergies is location. If your symptoms improve within a few hours of leaving the house, at work, on a trip, and come back when you're home, that's pointing at something in the building. Your AC is the most likely candidate because it's the one appliance that actively distributes air into every room you use. 2 groups have a harder time with this than the average person. If you have asthma, mold spores and the fragments they shed are established triggers. The CDC is direct about this. For people with asthma, mold exposure can worsen symptoms and increase attack frequency. And if you're allergic to mold specifically, you don't need much of it. A unit blowing across a colonized coil for 8 hours a night is a meaningful exposure. There's also a rarer condition worth naming so you recognize it if it ever applies: hypersensitivity pneumonitis. It's an immune reaction in the lungs from repeated exposure to inhaled organic particles, and there are documented cases tied to contaminated HVAC systems. It is genuinely uncommon. I'm not raising it to scare you. I'm raising it because if you have unexplained shortness of breath and a persistent cough that's been going on for months, that's a doctor conversation, not a YouTube conversation. Now let me push back on some things you'll find if you search this. The first one is Legionnaires' disease. You will absolutely find videos telling you your home AC is going to give you Legionnaires. That is essentially not a residential risk. Legionella spreads through aerosolized water droplets, and the systems associated with real outbreaks are large commercial cooling towers, decorative fountains, and some plumbing systems. Equipment that sprays water into the air. Your window unit and your home split system don't aerosolize water that way. If you have a whole building cooling tower, different conversation. Your bedroom AC, no. Second, black mold. Almost every video on this uses the phrase, and almost none of them mean anything specific by it. Stachybotrys is a real organism. It's associated with sustained water damage in building materials like drywall, and it is not typically what's on your evaporator coil. What's on your coil is usually the ordinary stuff I listed earlier. That's still worth cleaning. It's not worth panicking about. Third, you do not need a mold test kit to make this decision. If the coil looks dirty, clean it. If it smells, clean it. A lab result doesn't change the action you're going to take, so save the $40. Here's the actual work. Budget about $20 to $30 and one afternoon. Step 1. Kill the power, not the remote, not the wall switch. Unplug it or shut the breaker. You're about to put a wet spray on electrical equipment. Step 2. The filter. Pull it. If it's a washable mesh filter, rinse it in the sink with dish soap and let it dry. Completely. Genuinely dry, not damp, before it goes back in. Putting a wet filter back is how you start the problem over. If it's a disposable pleated filter, replace it. On replacements, for most residential systems, MERV8 to MERV11 is the useful range for catching dust and spores. Do not jump to MERV16 thinking more is better. Residential blowers aren't built for that much resistance, and you'll choke airflow, which causes its own problems, including coil icing. Step 3. The coils. This is the part people skip, and it's the part that matters. Buy a can of no-rinse evaporator coil cleaner. Foaming, self-draining, made for exactly this. Spray it across the fins, let it foam and sit for the time on the can, and it drains out through the condensate line as it breaks down the biofilm. Do not use a wire brush. Do not use a pressure washer. The fins are thin aluminum and they bend, and bent fins block airflow permanently. A soft brush along the direction of the fins, if anything. Step 4. The drain. Find the condensate drain line, usually a PVC pipe leaving the air handler. Flush it with a cup of distilled white vinegar. That clears the slime that clogs it. If water is standing in the drain pan and won't move, the line is blocked, and that needs clearing before anything else, because a full pan will overflow into whatever is underneath it. Step 5. The thing nobody does. Run the fan for 10 to 15 minutes after you finish cooling for the day. Most units have a fan-only mode. It dries the coil instead of leaving it wet overnight. Some newer systems have this built in and call it a dry cycle or auto clean. This one change does more for prevention than everything above, because it removes the condition the biofilm needs. Schedule so you're not guessing. Filter. Check monthly during the season. Replace or wash every 1 to 3 months. Coils. Once a year before cooling season. Drain line. Twice a year. Indoor humidity. Keep it between 30 and 50%, the EPA's recommended range, and a $10 hygrometer will tell you where you are. So, go pull your filter. It takes 30 seconds, and you'll know immediately whether this applies to you. If the answer is yes, you're roughly $20 and an afternoon from fixing air you breathe 8 hours a night for the next 3 months. And if you're running a fan instead of AC because of the heat, I made a whole video on what that's actually doing to you overnight. It's on screen now.